Shalom, family trendsetter. All praises be to the Most High. I am out and about, so you possibly may hear some noise in the background as well, as I do feel the wind blowing, but I don't really hear it. So I don't know if y'all can hear it on y'all end. So today is November 7th, 2 days after the election. And just a little heads up. Sometime when I'm walking around, it seems like I'm out of breath, and I want to explain that to y'all. Since COVID came into play, right? After having COVID twice, I thought I had it actually 3 times, but they said twice, officially twice. It seems like my breathing, and I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to me as well. You know, y'all probably have difficulty breathing. I'm a young individual. My wife is even younger. She has difficulty climbing the stairs now. So if you see me sounding labored doing this video, it's because, you know, I think it has something to do with COVID. But anyway, we have a lot of people still trying to recover from the shock, right, of what occurred on the 5th of this year, of this month, I should say. And now we have people walking around not even knowing who are responsible. Because, for example, let's say, let's talk about white people, for example, right? You may have some white folks that actually voted for Kamala Harris and some that actually voted for Trump, Donald Trump, right? But you will never know who they are. I guess you can probably figure it out and shit if you see a white individual walking around with a smile on their face or another white individual walking around with a frown on their face. You probably can decide or make a speculation guess as to who is happy with the outcome, right? Based on the emotion, based on what you see, the expression is on their face. Like, for example, as I told you, I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but I went to Dunkin' Donuts to purchase some coffee and donuts. And when I walked in there, this was the 6th of November, the day after the election. There was a lot of angry faces in there. I think it was only 1 or 2 people walked in with a smile on their face. And it was so funny because the dude was a black dude. He was working there. He came to me, he said, man, I've never seen so many different emotions in one morning. And he said, I'm sure that shit has to do with the election. And he said to me, you know what? If a person walk in here smiling, I'm not serving them directly. I'm gonna let someone else serve them. And I knew what he meant by it. I started to laugh. And he said, if someone walk in here, a white person walk in here, and they got like a angry or somber look, I'll be the first in line to serve them. Because that means they voted for Kamala. And, you know, I laugh and shit because this shit was kind of funny the way he said it. So, what am I saying here in this video? Now, as I mentioned in the last video, be careful what y'all wish for. Because, see, a lot of y'all Trump supporters, dumb supporters, I should say, because a lot of y'all are uneducated goofies. And you do have some educated ones that have an agenda. You know, at the end of the day, basically, they voted for Trump because they're trying to secure their money. They don't want their money being taxed. A lot of them are millionaires and shit. But for the idiotic ones, for the low IQ individuals who believe that Trump is going to fix everything. Yeah, he said he's going to do mass deportation, fix the border. He said that shit the last time he was in office. He didn't do it. The border's still open and shit. He didn't build a wall. So he could say a lot of things, right? But a lot of people that voted for him is banking on the economy getting better because they blame it on the Democrat, not realizing that the Democrat inherited this shit from the Republicans, from Trump, you know, when Trump was in office, because he did a horrible job with the pandemic. And now, you know, they inherited this shit. Now, what I don't understand with the Biden administration is why they was giving away all that money to Ukraine and Israel when their own people need that money to recover from Trump's fuck-ups, right? Why were they opening the floodgates, allowing all these migrants to come into our country, to suck out the remaining resources that we have, right? In some cases, we don't have. They're giving them debit cards, giving them money, taking care of their family, paying for hotels. Some of these people are actually staying in 4, sometimes 5-star hotels where you have the American people literally in that same area where they're going into the hotel. They're sleeping in fucking front of the hotels in alleyways and shit. These people at one point used to pay tax for whatever reason. They're homeless. But now you have the migrants. And again, nothing against migrants. If you're trying to come here to better your life, hey. But what I'm saying is that it should be a limit. It should be a cap on how many people are able to come in. And as I told you on the last video, right, I suspect the reason why they did it is to sabotage Kamala. Because as I mentioned in the last video, in case you didn't watch the last video, I was saying that I believe they're in the last year of the Biden administration, they knew Kamala Harris was going to be next in line, right, to run for the presidency. And the Republican Party as well as the Democrat Party is not ready for a woman president, especially a woman of color, right, running this world. Because once you become a president, you are the most powerfulest person in this world. They wasn't ready for Kamala Harris. They're not ready for a woman, much less a so-called black woman. I don't care if y'all say she's not black. When I see Kamala Harris, she look black to me. You know what I mean? So they all conspired like they did in Psalms, right? 83, I believe it is, where they all conspired and shit to try to, like, you know what I'm saying, stop or block her from becoming the next president. And I'm sure a lot of them didn't want Trump, but the MAGA party has spoken, / Republican Party has spoken that they would prefer to have Trump. They didn't have anybody else running against Trump because everybody fears Trump for whatever reason. I suspect this man is some kind of warlock. Like he put spell, I don't know, because he's too powerful, you know what I'm saying, to be a goofy. He's very uneducated. He's racist. He's stupid as fuck. But yet still, you have this influence over these idiots. That's why I know that this so-called, what they call themselves, patriotic Americans, y'all are pussy. Without y'all guns and y'all weapons, y'all cowards. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just hide behind y'all guns and y'all weapons and laws. But without that shit, y'all are nothing. And Trump proved that to me. He proved it when he first walked down that elevator that y'all are cowards. Y'all talk big and bad and shit, but when it comes down to it, y'all are pussy. Without y'all military might, y'all are nothing. You know what I mean? But anyway, so they sabotage. They sabotage her. They flood the gates with migrants, right? The economy got fucked up because they're giving away the money to Ukraine to fight this war with Russia and then leaving the American people without. So Trump and the Republican Party / mega party has something to run on. And most people are going to resonate when Trump say the economy is fucked because, yeah, when you go into the store, like the other day I went to the store to buy some eggs. I remember like maybe a couple of years ago, I could get a box of brown eggs. I don't eat the regular egg. I eat like the organic egg. I could get a box of organic egg for like $2.99, $3 the most, $3.49 the most. Now this shit is like almost $6, sometimes $7, depending on the brand. So I believe the Biden administration in the last half or the last part of the administration, they sabotaged Kamala because they know she was next in line. They couldn't bring in an outsider because the optics, like I said, wouldn't look good towards the world. So they had to say, shit, we stuck with her, but you know what? We don't want her as president. So although everything appeared to be going well for her, because, you know, that's how the media is. The media is always behind. That's why I told you on the last video, I don't give a fuck what's happening with Trump or what. I am not tuning into the media to find out nothing. I don't care. Let the shit happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyway, right? And when it happens, we'll find out the repercussion afterwards. But I'm not tuning in because these fuckers, they love ratings. If you tune into them, especially now, people are going to be want to tune in to see what Trump is doing. I don't care what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Trump already told you what he's going to do with the Project 2025. If you want to know what he's going to do, download the shit. Go into it and read the shit. You'll know what he plans to do. So why would I need the media to tell me what the fuck he's going to do? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to cause him to be in office because they every time Trump says something, they on the media, you know, saying talk about what Trump is saying. So basically, everybody just got desensitized to Trump and his bullshit. A lot of the stuff that Trump said and did, even after his presidency, he should have been locked the fuck up. If there was any other regular person, they would have been in prison. Let it would have been a black person saying half the shit that he said. Let would have been Kamala Harris saying half the shit that he was saying about her, right? And see what would have happened. Should have been automatically disqualified from being the president. But because, his white supremacy rules here in America, because this country was founded on white supremacy and hate, murder, bloodshed, you know what I mean? So, and criminality, because it's the same fucking ancestors that stole this land, these are the descendants of the ancestors that stole this land. So it's in their genes to be criminals. So they can relate with a criminal. So when Trump go and talk about he grabbed one by the pussy and sexual assault and cheating on his taxes and cheating on his business record and all that shit, it's nothing new for them. They've been doing this shit. They've been cooking the books for fucking hundreds of years and shit. So what's the big deal for them? You know what I'm saying? They can relate. A lot of them are pedophile, just like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for them, it's okay, nothing to see here, folks. So, again, a lot of y'all are in despair, worrying about what to do next. There's nothing you really can do. I know y'all feel y'all can go out there. Nah, what you need to do is just hope and pray that he doesn't change the law where he's able to run again, or maybe this will be the last election where now the presidency is passed down to his kids and shit. Hopefully he doesn't change it. I think that's what's going to happen based on the Project 25. But let's say he serves his 4 years, which I very doubt he's going to be able to serve the full 4 years. I suspect he'll be out of here one way or the other. Read between the lines. They're going to get rid of this motherfucker one way or the other. Because as much as a so-called Republican seems to support him, they don't. They don't like him. They only may support him because a lot of them are millionaires and shit, and they know that when Trump go into office, right, he's going to cut their taxes, and Silicon Valley is going to benefit, and Elon Musk, all these people are going to benefit, all these millionaires, all these rich people are going to benefit from Trump. And at the end of the day, what do y'all know? They're not. When he talks about the election might be rigged, he's really projecting, right? Because they, I believe, rigged the election to put him into office. They rigged the election because there's no way in hell, based on the campaign that Kamala Harris, right, brought forth. That shit to me was spot on. And she still lost. You had a lot of white people, a lot of white women, right, could have related to her, her pitch. Like she said, as far as the Affordable Care Act, and she talked about women's right to choose, all this shit, right? She was for them. She literally was on their side. So there's no way in hell she could have lost. I mean, it's because common sense. Based on that alone, okay, I understand the economy is fucked up, and the influx of migrants. Okay, that's something we can try to fix later, right? But the fact that the Supreme Court took away a woman, just think about this shit. As a father, you and your woman or your wife or your baby mother, right? Laid down, had a child, a daughter, excuse me, had a daughter. She comes into the world, right? You teach her values and shit, and a right to choose right from wrong or whatever. She gets raped, and she's supposed to. These motherfuckers are telling her, the Trump administration and the Supreme Court are telling her that even though she was violently raped by a criminal, I guess Trump. What I suspect is because he's a motherfucking rapist, right? And I guess he figured, well, shit, hey, I'm good with a rapist because, what I'm saying, he's a rapist, so I guess he can relate, right? So you're telling me Supreme Court justices and Trump or anybody can tell you that you have to carry that rapist baby. You can't abort it. You can't get rid of this shit. Do y'all know how many abortions Trump probably had even before he was president? I don't think he had any since he was president. Nobody would lay with that ugly motherfucker. But you telling me somebody gonna force you to have a rapist baby? Just think about this shit. And y'all still went out and vote for this motherfucker? A lot of y'all have kids, daughters and shit. You know why? Because y'all are on code. Y'all are on code. Y'all know that y'all do not want a black woman as president, right? So y'all were willing to sacrifice y'all morale, a little bit that y'all do have. Many of y'all don't, right? And vote in this motherfucker. Do you know how many Democrats voted for Trump? just because of Kamala possibly might be the next commander-in-chief. They in their mind, they feel like, we already had a black president. We don't need another one, especially a woman. Right? That Hillary bitch, they didn't accept her nomination. She had a popular vote. But yet still, guess what? They gave it to him in 2016 because they wasn't ready for a woman. So if they wasn't ready for Hillary, you think they're going to be ready for Kamala Harris? Are you serious right now? So what are we going to do moving forward? Well, one option is that we could just get ready for the 4 years that we have, right? Brace ourselves for the shit, because this shit's going to be bloody. This shit's going to be crazy. This is not a video, trying to bring forth some kind of fear-mongering, but this shit's going to be rough. But for those of us who survive the shit, hopefully after the 4 years, this motherfucker not able to, because he won't be able to go back and pitch again for presidency. Hopefully it won't be his son, because these MAGA people are like cults and shit. They probably vote for Don Jr., one of the motherfuckers. I'm sure they're going to be in line next to vote. So let's hope and pray that we can survive this 4 years. I suspect, once again, he will not last for 4 years, because I think he's sick. And I believe one way or the other, they're going to get rid of Trump. Mark my words. Writing's already on the wall. But I think before he goes, he's going to put some shit in place that's going to benefit his kids as being his successor. I know, God forbid, if he might, hit the bucket and shit, right? Or kick the bucket, they call it. Then you may have Vance, carry out the presidency for whatever term that's left. But I believe after that, they're going to set it up where his son's going to be the successor. Something's going to happen. This country is going to be like a banana republic, like they like to say. This country is never going to be the same, because it's not a country, family. This is a corporation. Y'all need to research this shit. America is a fucking corporation. All that Social Security shit that y'all have tag to y'all is to track y'all finances. Basically, we're the commodities of this country. You know what I'm saying? They borrow loans against us based on the resources that we have, the income, the homes, the wealth that we have. That's how they're able to borrow loan against America, because of us. Because once we can't pay back, we become slaves to the other fucking lenders and shit. Y'all don't know how deep this shit is. It's really, really fucking deep. But I'm going to say in closing, my faith in America have changed 150%. I hate this fucking country. I hate this country. Because even though you may have some good so-called white people, but you have a lot of bad ones. A lot of bad ones. And in this case, the bad outweighs the fucking good. And you don't know who's a Democrat from who's a Republican unless you go up to them and say, hey, who did you vote for? It's just because until now, when I see these motherfuckers walking around, I just look at them and all the same. Because at the end of the day, family, they're all on code. If there was a race war, all these neighbors that voted Democrat and love Kamala, they're going to choose sides. You got to remember that shit. Always remember that shit. We're not like them. They're not like us. And for you, righteous so-called white people, I embrace you, because for me, it just means that y'all just got trapped in the wrong fucking body. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably have the spirit of a black person with humility, compassion, but y'all just, for y'all punishment and shit, y'all got trapped in that non-melanated fucking body. You know what I'm saying? That's what I look at y'all as. Because there are some people, I know some white people personally that act not, and they don't have to talk black, but you could just tell, you feel that love, that genuine love when you're around them. And those are the white people that I embrace. And you got some fucking niggas, you got some black people. When I'm around, like this one, I don't want to say, because in case they watch this video, but I work, all right, anyway, let me shut up. But you got some black people that you around them, and you could just have it's like a fucking tension. You could feel the negative energy. It's almost like they're white. They have that white spirit that's entrapped in a black body. You know, so they may look like a black person, but they talk like one of them motherfuckers, and their spirit bears witness like they're one of them. So I don't judge all white people as being bad, because like I said, I'm kind of like toning down a little bit, because you got some devils walking past me and shit, and I'm still on the job. So you do have some genuine white people that have humility. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of humility. Those are the people that I fuck with. But then you have some niggas, boy. You have some niggas that I just would like to be eradicated off this motherfucking earth. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can't wait for Trump to start implement what he planned on implementing. Because a lot of you Trump supporters, you niggas that voted for Trump because, oh, I'm not voting for Kamala because she didn't give us a crime bill. Oh, I'm not voting for Kamala because she didn't give a reparation. Did Trump give y'all a crime bill or a reparation? What's the difference? At least she was saying some shit that we wanted to hear. You know, what she planned on doing moving forward. How do we know she wouldn't have changed once she become president? Don't y'all know her hands was tied, Goofy's, as vice president? She don't call no shots. She got to go along to get along. But like I said before, be careful what y'all wish for. Because now y'all got Trump. Let's see how y'all going to deal with what the fuck he brings to the table. Hey, I'm already prepared for what's coming. Worst case scenario, my ass is going right back to fucking Jamaica. That's what I'm going to do. Go right back to Jamaica, buy a piece of land, and just stay there until the shit blow off. Fuck America. I don't have to come back here. There's other countries that I can go to and live a way better life. This place is oppressive. It's oppressive. Everywhere you go, they trying to make money off of you. You got fucking speeding lights and, you know, traffic light. Just everything they try to oppress you. And you think once this motherfucker, right after January, you think once he get into office, you think he's not going to embolden these police officers with their, what they call that shit, that qualified immunity, some shit like that. You think they're not going to be emboldened to pull you over as a so-called black or brown person to check your papers, your slave papers? Why you think they enforced that real ID shit the other day? You had to go and get a real ID. Because a lot of y'all immigrants, y'all came here, y'all able to go and get a temporary, what they call it, permit, right? So what they doing, they weeding y'all out, they getting y'all from out of the crack. A lot of y'all in hiding, so they say, okay, yeah, it's fine. Y'all can go ahead and get a permit and shit. So now a lot of y'all went out there, got this permit, because I know people that actually got it. That's not legal here in the country, right? I don't know them personally, but I know of people. Let me put it that way in case y'all try to come and get question me and shit, right? And they got the, and I was telling myself, I don't think it's a good idea. You know, right now you're off the radar and shit. Don't go get it, because once you get this shit, y'all gonna get complacent with it. And when they pull your ass over and ask for your ID and they see that shit, they gonna know automatically that you're an immigrant, right? You're a migrant. They're gonna round your ass up, and don't think they're gonna deport you. They're gonna put you in an internment camp. They're gonna put you in an internment camp, put you guys into slavery. That's what the fuck is going on. So I suspect all these migrants that came here are going to be the future slaves. What they call millennium slaves. Trust me, it's always a method to these evil geniuses. Always a method to these evil geniuses' madness. This is why I think they lure these. It's almost like the Pied Piper. Remember the Pied Piper that used to walk around and shit? You know, Smith's story. And he used to blow the fucking flute, and all these rats would come out and shit and follow him, and he drowned the motherfuckers. That's what he did. He got all these migrants from all over the world to come here. And then they knew Trump was going to go back. They already set this shit in motion years ago. And they got Trump now. Trump's going to be the Pied Piper that's going to round all these motherfuckers up and put them in an internment camp, separate their kids, do God knows what with their kids, traffic their kids. Because the first time when he did that shit, put them in cage, a lot of these people still haven't gotten their kids back. We don't know where these kids are at. They probably on the sex market, right? Being trafficked and shit. We don't know what the fuck's going on. So that's what's going to happen. All these migrants, they're going to round them up. Black people, Asian, whoever, wherever. If you're a migrant and they find you and they can identify you as a migrant, because you're going to have your papers soon. You're going to have to walk around with your motherfucking birth certificate. Even me and shit. I probably round me up too. You know what I mean? But before that happened, I'm out of here. So that's what's going to happen. All these migrants going to become future slaves for Trump. This world is never going to be the same. And other countries are going to follow suit. Because everybody always follow what America does. But anyway, family, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. With that, I say shalom.